Good afternoon. This is Brother Kenroy coming to you another fantastic story quickly before we go. Today's story is called The Man Who Was Running from the Lion. The man who was running from the lion. It was said this man was running from this lion, and he kept looking back behind him all of his life. He looking back all the time, and he running and he running and he running from this lion. Until one day, because he wasn't watching where he was going, he bumped right into the very thing that he was running from, a lion. And it all ended there and then. He kept looking back over his shoulder all of his life, avoiding the lion, until one day he ran and bumped right into the lion because he wasn't watching where he was going. Ladies and gentlemen, the moral of this short, sweet story is you can't run from your past. Your past is eventually caught up with you. Your past does eventually caught up with you. You can run, but you can't hide. As the old proverbs say, you can run, but you can't hide. He was running from this lion until one day he bumped into this very lion he'd running from. A wise man once said, the very thing that you try to avoid is often you meet on your journey. The very thing or very person you try to avoid, you always meet them on your journey. It means you cannot run from your past. You got to face up to your responsibilities. You got to face your past. You got to confront your past. You got to mend your broken ways. You got to mend the errors of your ways, the mistakes of your ways, the bad deeds of your ways. You have to face your past. You got to face the consequences. You can run, but you can't hide. And if it makes you, it's gonna go through your descendants. That is why in some cases, especially a mother will say to their children, you're going to get yourself in a very trouble. I try preventing you from getting in. I try protecting you from getting in. All because their past, the mother or the father past caught up with the child, and the child had to pay the consequences. So they try to protect their child from doing this one thing, and that very one thing caught up with their children. All because it was their mistake and the child had to pay for their mistake, meaning you can run but you can't hide. You have to face your past, and your past does caught up with you. So he was running from this lion all his life and looking back over his shoulder, not knowing one day he would bump into this very, very lion, and he had to face his past. Ladies and gentlemen, don't care what you do in this life, whether good or bad. We all have to stand before the judgment seat of the living God. We all have to give an account for what we did in this body, in this flesh, in this life. We all have to give an account of what we did in our lives. So remember, your past does catch up with you. Your past does catch up with you, whether you like it or not. You can run, but you can't hide. Do good, and good will follow you. The same way your past does follow you, if you do good, good will follow you. If you do bad, bad will follow you. At the end of the day, there's no turning away from it, there's no avoiding it, and there's no hiding from it. You have to face your past. You have to face the consequences of your action. To every action, there's a reaction. And if you don't face it, your children or your children's children is going to face it for you. You know how much children get into trouble, and the parents said that's the very thing I was trying to protect you from? It's only obvious the children pay the price for the parents. Whatever the parents did in their past, the children pay for it in the future. Pay for it in the future. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run from love, but you cannot hide. As Mike Grosvenor used to sing way back in the 70s here in Barbados to the early 80s. You can run from love, but you cannot hide. Remember that big hit back in the 80s with Mike Grosvenor, one of our local entertainers? But the point is to that song, you can run, but you cannot hide. Don't care how long it takes. You're going to meet what you have sown. You're going to reap what you have sown. You can't avoid it. So if you have skeletons in your closet, confront them. Go to that person. Go to the situation and say, look, to the person, I'm sorry for what I did to you back then. I apologize. Mend the broken bridges. Mend the broken hearts. Don't burn your bridges on before you cross over to the other side. It will make no sense. Go and make the wrong things right today. Tomorrow may be too late for you. Why avoid? Why put off today? Why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? Go and mend your broken bridges. Go and tell the person, I'm sorry. Tell that loved one, I love you. Forgive me for what I did to you. Today is the day. Today is the day of reckoning. Today is the day of forgiveness. Brethren, you can run, but you cannot hide. Your past just catch up with you sooner or later. Somewhere, somehow, it just catch up with you. This is Positive K coming to you with another positive message, with another positive story, with another positive encouragement and empowerment that encourage you that you cannot run from your past. You have to face your past. You have to confront your past. You have to give account for what you did in the past. In this bright future of Bob Marley here, in this bright future, you can't forget your past. In this bright future, you cannot forget your past. Your past may be dark like the night, but you have a bright future ahead of you. If only you confront your past, you have a bright future ahead of you. In this bright future, you can't forget your dark past. You got to confront your dark past. When you enter a room and it's dark, you turn on the light to see, don't you? You have to do that with your past. Shed the light on your dark past. Shed the light, shed God's light on your dark past. Shed the light. Be truthful, be upright, stop running. It's time to come home. As Malcolm X said, the chickens come home to roost. It's time to come home, my brother, my sister, my friend. It's time to come home and face your past. This is Positive K coming to you with another positive story. May God bless you and continue to enjoy the holiday weekends. Continue to enjoy this Easter weekends. Be safe out there, and may God go with you and protect you and your loved ones. Blessings to you, brethren. Over and out.